welcome to another Mr. Betabyte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at the Sony HF100, and specifically we're looking at a hi-fi audio issue. You might remember I featured this video recorder in a previous video, not that long ago to be fair, and managed to get everything else working. Absolutely lovely machine, playing back well with standard tapes, but the hi-fi audio is really choppy to the point where it almost didn't work at all on certain hi-fi encoded tapes. It wouldn't even detect it. So yeah, I've already started work on this. I've just taken off the top tuning board, and this is the hi-fi board, and I was debating whether this chip had been changed in the past. I don't know. It does look as if it's got slightly different solder on it, but then if you look at this board, the same chip looks very similar. It's almost like it's hand soldered. So I don't know what's going on there. I have already done a quick check of the board underneath, and just read to see if there's any visible signs of capacitor leakage. There isn't. Also know that the low voltage electrolytics can cause problems, but this board actually has none of those. It's not to say there isn't a capacitor problem, but there's nothing obvious. So yeah. So my thought is to actually swap out the board. This is a good board, as far as I know anyway. It was good. Good board. And just swap it out, just to make sure that it is just on this board. It's a bit different to other parts of the machine, I suppose, in some ways anyway, insofar as the hi-fi audio is very self-contained. It's all on this board, pretty much. If you're getting some sort of output, then but it's bad, then it's going to be on this board and nothing else, except for if you've actually got mechanical problems with the transformers or bad heads, potentially. But remember, we did actually change head discs as an experiment, just for fun really. That was a waste of time, but it was good fun. So yes, this could be an interesting one. Definitely going to be a scope one, I think, and getting the meter out as well. And yes, I'm a bit up against the clock with this machine as well, because it needs to go back. This is actually a repair, and even though everything else is done, obviously they want the hi-fi audio working if possible. Machines come from a video duplicator business, so yeah, be really good to get this done in the next day or so. So by way of interest, I'm actually recording this on two different devices. So I've got my usual camera, and I've also got this, and you can see it's still got the label, but yeah, I've got a Sony DVD camcorder. Yeah, I just thought it'd be quite fun. It'd probably be terrible, but yeah. And it certainly won't help the Dolby 5.1 that it reckons it can support. So yes, so with that, let's crack on. So we've got a cable tie there, which is usually not a problem, but I broke my very good quality cable cutters, and thankfully those are doing the trick. But yeah, so I've had to order some more. Removing a socket off a motherboard, and I decided I wanted to cut it off, and I actually broke them. So rather gutted, because they're not cheap. For good ones. I like good ones. You need to cut with confidence. And I'm not going to worry about the RF side of it, the tuning side of it. I mean, it's pretty pointless anyway, this day and age. But yeah, I'm not going to put the tuning board back on. I probably will put the audio board back on, the linear audio. So I've got that as a reference. So this is the audio, the linear audio. So straight off the audio control head. A bit of a fiddle removing this. So these unclip. These are obviously on hinges, so you hinge it out of the way, but I need this off. So you just have to press in the two tabs each side, and it comes out. I'm just going to leave that floating, basically. Probably put some insulation to stop it from actually touching anything it shouldn't. And yeah, so let's move that board out of the way. I have to say you have to be a bit careful here, because obviously I've removed the board responsible for channel selection and tuning and all the rest of it. So those connectors are floating free. And Sony being Sony, they're really, really good with their connectors, but of course if we've got two lots of boards out, yeah, so I need that. There is the risk of plugging in the wrong connector. So you see, like there, I've got a connector there, but it is actually the other way round, so I shouldn't make a mistake there. That one is fine. Do I need much else? Yes, I need that one. So this is from the linear audio board, and I think that's it, because that one is that one, and that goes up to the tuning board. So that is cool. So board designations. So TU60, that goes up to TU60. That's the tuning board. Then we've got the AF3 board. So that's this. Yeah, that's fine. So as long as that's sat in fairly safely, we should be good to go.
And everybody watching at home, I would like to apologise for not attending tonight's awards show. I would genuinely have loved to have been there to say a huge thank you.
So that's working. I have really good hi-fi audio. I have plugged something in or missed a plug somewhere. As I say, you can't trust when you take more than one board out that you'll be able to get all the connectors in as they should. But yes, I have hi-fi audio, and if I just do tracking, so we've got linear.
Okay. More music, which is what we are about tonight. You saw
And then we've got the hi-fi, and you can see there hi-fi indicators on. So I know we do have a problem on the hi-fi board. So that's great. That's actually brilliant. So I suppose we better try and diagnose what's going on. Okay, so yeah, I did miss a connector. Basically, it is this one here, which goes straight to the VU meter unit at the front. So yeah, I just had to do it, didn't I? So I think what I'm going to do next is transfer the boards back. I'll just put the linear audio board there. I don't know why I didn't do that before. But looking at this board, we have these yellow insulating pads, and these are infamous for just basically becoming conductive with age, and they are actually straight across the legs of the chips. So looking at this, basically from here back, with possibly the exception of this, I haven't looked at the circuit diagram, to be fair. This is all new to me, by the way, so I'm just learning as I go along here. But this area here is basically dealing with the signal processing for the FM, AFM, and yeah, those pads are straight across two of the chips that actually are handling the signal from the two heads for AFM. So my thought is to remove the pads and just see if that fixes it. But basically everything back is working, and everything from the front end, from the panel that's underneath the deck, is working too, because we've got perfect hi-fi audio with the good board. So I'll put this in. Well, take off the pads first, put this back in and just see what it's like. Okay, so that's the old board, or the original board, back in. So let's give it a try. Now remove those foam pads as well. I very much doubt this is going to fix this, but you never know. Yeah, so you can hear it's really choppy, although it does seem marginally better. Okay, so we need to look into what is going on with the signal side of it. Basically, my feeling is it's going to be either the preamp stage here, or the initial processing, which is here, where we've got the problems. And you can actually see where it's divided up. So the different processes of the AFM signal is sort of designated by some lines to an extent. You sort of see how it works. So, time to get scoping, I think. So it is working. It's still not great, mainly because of the quality of the heads. The heads are really worn, and I have to say, the picture quality is not bad, but if I do a recording, it's just like picture and hi-fi audio is just really poor, and everything's checking out fine. There was a problem on the AF3 board, and it turned out to be two capacitors, and I think Betamax Rebel Outpost, actually, I misunderstood what he was telling me. There are two caps here and here, and the 10 microfarad 16 volts. It's C023 here, and then C209 here, and those caps had very slight tarnishing on one of the legs. And we can see that it's not easy, but one of the legs, the positive leg, is slightly tarnished on both of these, and one of them actually had crustiness. You can just see a little bit of residue in there. And they did test, well, they tested fairly okay, but of course when you put the iron on them, it does sort of to an extent reform them. But there were higher ESR than I would like, and the value had dropped, so that's a fairly good sign that they're not healthy. So I changed those, and suddenly exactly the same results as I was getting with the known good board. So that was great. But of course, it's got worn heads. I have finished cleaning up the tape path as well, cleaned the whole deck through on the last video featuring this machine. I'd only done sort of the main parts, resurface the head and all the rest of it, and obviously we did the head swapping bits and pieces as well. But the cap stand was actually really quite grubby, so that's helped and at least improved the tape path. But I've slightly increased the back tension, which seems to help as well. But you know, at the end of the day, the heads are worn. I can't do any more than that, really, other than suggest to the owner that I will keep an eye out for heads and give him first refusal on them if I do get a good set. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It was just literally a visual inspection that highlighted what was going wrong, and I didn't even get the scope on it, to be fair. I mean, I've previously scoped the board, and I could see the inputs were good, so obviously trying the other board was a good way of sort of proving that it was just on that board. But yeah, so there we go. It's working. Just have to get it back together. Probably just make out the VU meters there, maybe. Probably not. But yeah, it's a heck of a lot better, and that board is good. That board is working well. So just literally those two caps. I did actually replace the 47 microfarad 16 volt ones as well.
which was actually turned out to be pointless. But it's done. All of that front end is good. Another thing that's interesting as well, you'll notice these two components on the back here, and remember I removed the foam from underneath them. There is actually a space on the board, on the print, for them. So here and here. But it looks like they've moved them directly onto the legs of the chip. And I just wonder if it's something to do with, this is so, the tolerance is so fine that they literally had to put them across the chip. Even just that little bit of extra print was causing issues. Don't know. Maybe comment on that one if you know any better. I'm still learning a lot about the AFM side of things, and we've got quite a bit more to do on that, which you know, I will share with you. And as always great to have comments on it, and I'm learning. You know, it's all good stuff. So with that, we do have another HF100, the part 4 of the Perfect machine to get sorted. And now I've done this, I can get the other one going because I've got a fairly good idea of what's going on. We've also got capstan issues with that as well, so that's to come. And we do also have the Pro version as well of this machine coming up very, very shortly. Yeah, keep an eye out for that. That is actually really looking forward to doing that one, and that more than likely will be in the next couple of weeks or so. So subscribe for that one and click that notification bell so you know when that comes out. But with that, thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and see you in another video. Bye for now.